We are live. Welcome to West Coast Draft Podcast.
This is live.
New and improved. We got a. I don't know if I told you, Rob. We got a new logo. We got a new word mark.
I didn't see that.
Out of it. So
no.
Yeah, check it out later, man. It's new and improved branding. Just kidding. It's not improved because we missed Daniel, but it is new. It's new. But we're here. It's the day before the 4th of July. And you know what? There's going to be some fireworks on today's show because we're bringing up the Huskies versus the Ducks.
We got a duck. I found him in Olympia. Found him in Olympia. Welcome to the show, Gabe. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the heated rivalry. Although I will say this. When I was telling Beau about Gabe's thing, he's one of the very few sane Duck fans I've ever met.
Oh,
not a lot. There's not a lot. So you know what, Gabe? Not only do we have you on as a special guest, we also have you on as an endangered species. So.
We gotta get Duck Zone on. We gotta get our boat
Duck Zone on. He would not fall under that category.
Oh man. I do go on, well, I used to on Twitter, I don't anymore, but yeah, the Duck fans I see on there are pretty outspoken, I'll put it that way, so I can see why maybe we get a bad rep. There's this, I forget the guy's account, but there was this one guy who, I swear he just wants to ruffle people's feathers.
It might be Duck Zone. That might be Duck Zone.
There's a couple of them like that.
Duck Zone's hilarious, I'm not
We love Duck Zone. He's an absolute meth head who posts the worst. He didn't do them last season because he got made fun of so bad for them. But he posted he posted the worst tailgating videos and filmed himself at the game too. It was the worst food in the world. He was very much he's this white guy who acted very, he's spoken AAVE. He was just he was hilarious. He was an artist, man. He was incredible. But he was such an idiot on Twitter.
Yeah, no, Duck fans are real interesting people. There's a lot of cool people, and there's some.
I mean, that's for every fan base too.
Yeah,
we're giving you hate, but we got plenty of weirdos too, like Sub K. Although I think he must have finally gotten off Twitter. Thank God. Do you remember Sub K, Beau?
I don't really. I was not as involved with Husky Twitter because I just found, especially towards the end of the Jimmy Lake days, it was just getting so toxic.
Oh yeah. So, Gabe, Beau worked under Chris Peterson, Jimmy Lake, and Kalen DeBoer.
Wow, that is very interesting.
Like 2 months on the Kalen DeBoer one, but yeah.
What a spectrum of experience did you do for them?
What's up? Sorry.
What job did you do for them?
Oh, it was all recruiting and scouting side of things.
Recruiting. Nice. That's really cool, man. That's a really interesting experience, within the program.
Oh yeah, CP and Lake were my guys, man. Peterson was awesome. You know what? And I'll be the most outspoken person.
He said this many times.
I've said it many times. I'm a big Jimmy Lake guy.
Yeah,
he didn't get it done, but
it's hard to coach D1 football, especially at such a high level. It's not like he's at Montana State, like it's UW. That's a big
fuck you.
Well, anyway, so you guys want to go ahead and get into schedule?
One last thing. Beau, can you show us what you're eating today?
Oh yeah. Oh, this is important. So, as Rob said, It Broke Contain Skyline Chili is now in Arizona. Cincinnati.
Oh yeah. Did you know that Beau's a Bengals fan? He's a Bengals fan.
Oh, Bengals
yeah,
fan.
Huge
Nice.
Bengals fan. Huge Bengals fan. Hold on, I need to get the can.
The Bengals they've done some really good drafting last few years. I was surprised that they didn't go win that Super Bowl when they played the Rams.
Skyline Chili.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I've had my thoughts on the Bengals drafts the past couple of years, especially this year. It's not my favorite, but that's all right. We got Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah,
that's all we need. Oh, and apparently our starting wide receiver is almost as tall as our wide receiver one's almost as tall as the Eiffel Tower. Hold on, I gotta pull that tweet up.
That was a funny tweet. You gotta get it up. Get it up here.
Hold on, let me pull it up. My internet's still recovering from power outage. It's a rare rainy day in Arizona here. So
interesting.
The electrical system's not used to that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to get into monsoon season. I'm like, you know what? I love the rain. I really hope it doesn't rain during 4th of July, though, because that's the one day of the year I want it to be sunny out.
That's a bummer.
Here we go.
Wow. If you just took a step forward,
incredible tweet.
Just one more step forward.
He would be taller.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I say off Twitter, man. People on there are crazy. They be writing checks that they can't cash.
Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, it was funny. So on our draft podcast, Beau's worst case scenario happened with Shamar Stewart. Well, what's funny is what usually happens is that I usually am the one who crashes out. Beau didn't crash out.
Yeah, but your crash outs usually turn into good players, so I'm hoping it works out for me too.
That's true. My crash outs have turned into good players.
You had 3 crash outs, and all 3 of them worked out.
Yeah.
The Seahawks are going to be fine, man. Jalen Milroe, he's taking us all the way.
I believe.
We're going all the way.
I'm hyped to see him in preseason. He's going to be fun to see in preseason.
Let him run the ball. That guy is.
Oh yeah.
He is seriously fat.
Yeah, watch him in preseason. You're not going to see him in the regular season for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about recruiting? Shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Huskies are putting together.
Recruiting.
Let's start with recruiting because we don't have to linger on this too much. Huskies are putting together a good class. I like it a lot. Definitely better than anything DeBoer did. DeBoer just didn't give a hoot about recruiting. Cody Green and Derek Coleman-Brisa are just absolute studs. Derek Coleman-Brisa should definitely be higher than a 91. He's just he looks like Nick Bosa. So he's a stud. And then Cody Green's a first round tackle. He's just really, really good.
I think this speaks to what Jed Fish is able to do on the recruiting trail. It seems that things are stepping up. Where's this class ranked currently?
I think 20.
20. I'm surprised by that because we've got some really high quality players on here. I think that's kind of going to be the approach for a lot of programs, is go for quality over quantity, because I think there's going to be less roster turnover, and so
yep.
You might have a class that's ranked 30.
We took a huge class last year too.
Yeah,
we took a really big class because all the people who either went to the draft or to the portal after DeBoer. After DeBoer
left.
Sorry, I'm getting a text.
The PTSD flashbacks of DeBoer leaving.
No.
It sucks.
But we lost like 40 to 50 players, I think.
Yeah, well, as much as I hate to admit it, that's a big blow for the rivalry in general. I mean, having Dan Lanning versus Taylor DeBoer annually in the border clash would have been absolute cinema. Even if.
Well, you see the rumors right now.
What are the rumors?
There's some rumors that Dan Lanning might be interested in the Auburn job if Hugh Freeze leaves.
Ouch.
Which I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. I think he's pretty happy, and I think what I've heard for the longest time is
I think he wants to wait for the Chiefs job to open up.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
That's what I'm scared of.
The NFL. I don't think he's getting the Chiefs job because I think Sean McVay or someone like that's going to get the Chiefs job.
Yeah, the Chiefs job. If that would scare me.
Any smart coach in college football will bolt as soon as they get an NFL offer, as soon as possible.
Yeah, perhaps. But yeah, this recruiting class for UW looks really good right now. I mean,
can you scroll down a little bit? There's a underrated guy I like a lot. Mm-hmm. Keep going. Dominic Harris is really good, but keep going. Sam Vilheidel from Oregon, Mountainside, Ducks territory. He's going to get a big bump. That's what I hear.
6'4", 225. Yeah.
He has plays like Tyler Warren. He is their gadget player at his high school. He's very fun. And then of course we got a kicker, baby. Let's go. 3-star kicker.
Let's go.
Gotta get the kickers.
But yeah, no, really solid class.
You know what?
Really
3-star kicker's about as good as a kicker's going to get. So.
Yep. But no.
I feel like I expect UW's class to climb up and stay in the top.
Some of those guys are just very underrated. Giles and Lavender are both very good players. But yeah, there's some bumps coming. Auden Young we offered super early, and what's great about that is he's basically had a nutrition plan. So it shows he was 343 there last year. He slimmed down a lot. So
this is a pretty good looking class. I think Jed Fish is doing it.
Yeah, he's a good recruiter. I mean, Beau said it. Beau goes to University of Arizona. All right, did you graduate now?
No, I got another year.
Okay, he's going there for his master's. So he knew about Jed Fish, and he was right.
Oh yeah, I've been on the Fish train for a long time. Actually, it's funny. The first time, I was watching Arizona back in 2022. Where they just missed bowl eligibility.
Oh, yeah.
And then 2023 is my first year living down here. So I went to the Huskies Wildcats game where Arizona gave that Washington team a run for their freaking money. Man.
They did.
And that was before they started sucking in November, too.
I remember that game because UW almost lost for some reason, and everyone was confused because Arizona wasn't supposed to be good.
I remember that. You didn't near almost lose the ASU game. I think you might be thinking of the ASU.
Oh, actually,
they definitely
lost. Yeah,
Huskies had about a 10 to 14 point lead throughout most of the game, but Arizona just kept it close and kept fighting. That's what happened in that game.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
that was one of that Arizona team. I think only lost 3 games all year, 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, they lost to USC, UW, and
Mississippi State, I think.
Yeah, Mississippi State. Yep. Yeah, because they had the second longest winning streak at the end of the season.
Yeah, and they were building a good team too. And then obviously Jordan Morgan, and the receiver. What was the receiver's name? Went to
Dorian
the Niners.
Singer? Oh, Jacob Cowan.
Jacob Cowan. Those guys really were their only losses in the draft. But then they lost, obviously, a lot of guys to.
No, they lost. They lost DJ Williams and Michael Wiley too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Michael Wiley. Yep. Okay, so they lost a couple more guys, but then obviously when Fish leaves, they lost a lot there. And then Brent Brennan.
That was a big loss for Arizona, but big win for UW, right? Especially.
And he's an awesome recruit. Actually, but my favorite. Husky story was from when Courtney Morgan, I back up. So when Kalen DeBoer left, everyone was really sad. Everyone was really disappointed. So I was watching the video of him landing in Tuscaloosa, and the airplane doors will open up. Kalen DeBoer starts walking down the stairs, and then Courtney Morgan walks behind him, and I'm like, yes, he's gone! Because that motherfucker is the most overrated recruiter in the country. He's terrible.
Do you know who Courtney Morgan is? He was Caleb DeBoer's GM.
Yeah, he doesn't do shit.
And he didn't do anything.
What does he even do meme?
I think the only guy in the DeBoer era that we brought in who's been a contributor, there's only one I can think of. Landon Hatchett.
Yeah. Well, it honestly just didn't seem like DeBoer really cared about this.
No, he didn't give a.
No, he did not.
And that's disappointing because I think even if you were planning on using UW to get to a different job, you should care about what you're leaving behind there. I think UW fans feeling animosity towards him is very understandable. Just the way he bolted, the way he didn't really leave. He didn't leave anything in the cupboard when he left either. Just kind of.
No, he did not.
He never even put out a statement thanking the fans or anything.
Nope, never.
He did not give a shit.
No, and I mean those fans showed up. Like I went to the UW game versus Oregon in 2023. I mean those fans.
That was insane.
They deserve some credit just for that game and the whole season. They were packing the stadium. They were loud. Like to not.
Well, and he took any kind of talent with him too.
Yeah.
He took Brailsford, Cuevas, Germany.
To not give any kind of statement, just being like, "Hey, thanks to all the fans that showed up." Like, you have to do that.
No, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything.
Pretty lame not to say that.
Here's the way you do it. Sorry.
They're back. No, you're, oh.
I think we're good.
Let's see. Are we good? Okay. I just want to make sure. What's up, Adrian?
Yeah, if you want, we can go ahead and talk about 2026 because that's what I mean.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's fast
it ain't
forward
too far
here
away,
to
right?
The, or the schedule.
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Sweet. So there you go. Oh, okay. I think Rob's checking his phone. Yeah. So I mean, early on, they got the Colorado State and UC Davis coming to town. Should be 2 fairly easy wins. Hey, they went undefeated at home last year. Went 6-6, but all 6 wins were at home, so that's good. At Wazoo, hoping to avenge that loss last year. Big one versus the defending champs Ohio State on the 27th. That'll be a big one. That'll be one I wish I was up in Seattle for. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
At Maryland versus Rutgers. At Michigan, national championship rematch here. Closing out October against Illinois. A sneaky good Illinois team too. That's going to be that might be a good game there.
Oh yeah, good draw to get it at home though.
That's very good draw
at home. Good one. Ooh, at Wisconsin.
At Wisconsin's tough. Going to the Camp Randall. That's going to be tough.
I don't think they're going to have an offense though.
They never do, but they're still good, especially in Camp Randall.
If it's windy, if it's real windy,
all right, I'm back.
That's going to be a tough game.
What game?
Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a hostile environment, but I think, gosh, what's his name? We're getting some students in.
I know.
Can we go back to the top? I missed something. I'll give my quick statements. We should win our first 3. Ohio State will be very fun. First
I am
road game
so excited for that Ohio State game.
First road game for Julian Sayin. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Maryland and Rutgers, we should win those. Michigan, that's a brutal game. I think that's a loss. Illinois will be a fun one.
Illinois, I was just saying, Illinois is good. It's good. It's a good thing we got them at home.
Oh yeah, Wisconsin is a tough place to play, but I think they might be firing their coach after this year. It's not going well there. Purdue stinks.
Is Pickle going to go back to Cincy after they fire?
They should. Yeah.
Satterfield.
Yeah. Purdue stinks.
Purdue's awful.
UCLA.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, it's on the road, but yeah, that's going to be.
We have history.
Nico.
Yeah, Nico.
Maliava. That's actually a good point. Yeah, that could be tricky, but
I don't know. I think we should win that one. Yeah, I don't think Nico's even that good, to be honest. He's got natural talent.
About this. I know this is kind of off topic, but I was looking at like the Purdue roster from like a few years ago, and how far that roster's fallen off in just a couple of years. Is crazy.
Oh yeah,
it's like
the NIL era hurt them so bad.
Oh yeah, I mean they used to have like Carl Loftus, Skorton, Dion Burks, Dylan Thieneman, who's the Max Clare, like legitimate NFL guys and future NFL guys, and now they're just like they just got picked dry, man.
They turned into Purdue. That's how it happens. Yeah, they were terrible. I remember Oregon. We played them on the road this year. They didn't even have a pulse. It looked like we were running scrimmage on those guys.
Yeah, Purdue's awful.
Yeah,
and then you got Oregon at UW. That is going to be.
It comes down to how DeMond plays. It comes down to how DeMond plays.
Well, and
I mean that and their offensive line, how the offensive line plays. Because that was what killed them last time. 10 sacks. That is true.
Can't happen again.
But I will say from the game last year, I was in the stadium for it. UW's got some really good receivers.
Yeah.
Jonah Coleman's coming back.
Jonah Coleman slimmed down too. Yeah, he was way overweight.
This is going to be a really hard game for Oregon to win, especially just being on the road. I think, like you said, Rob, it all comes down to Damon Williams. Is he that guy? Does he take the next step, or does he need another year in the microwave?
Yeah. They just need to protect him.
Yeah, and if the O-line can do not quite as poorly, frankly.
That was bad.
Hey, Joe Burrow showed 9 sacks and he can be all right.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. He does show that.
10 is too much. 9 we can live with.
But man, I am so excited for that game at Seattle. That's gonna be really fun. I hope that both teams are 8, 9, 10 win. If both teams are undefeated, I mean that would be the ideal scenario. But I expect
both teams are undefeated. They might be meeting again a week later in the Big Ten title game.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be the dream scenario. But I think both teams will pick up a loss or two throughout the season.
Yeah, especially with UW playing Ohio State.
The only game for UW that I would say guaranteed you will lose is maybe Michigan.
I think so. I think Ohio State could be really interesting because the new defensive coordinator runs a really complex defense for young quarterbacks to face.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be most likely starting a freshman quarterback, first true road game, packed house. It could be interesting. And Ohio State is basically like Michigan last year. Michigan retained They retained Graham and Grant and Johnson and Edwards, but they lost a ton of depth, right? Well, Ohio State retained Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith, and also all their other good receivers, but they lost a lot everywhere else. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe Ohio State could go down there. I'm not going to bet. I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I think it could be very interesting if Sayin has a tough first road game.
I expect UW to win that just because Ohio State.
You're jinxing us on purpose.
Oh, I'm
just messing with you.
Here's my theory. Ohio State, when they played Oregon in the Rose Bowl, obviously they demolished us. But when they had to come to our stadium and it was super loud and it was earlier in the season, we were able to get the jump on them. So I think UW could do a similar thing where maybe Ohio State's a better team, but if the Husky fans show up and it is loud, maybe it's raining, I think you guys could get them. It's not a guarantee. That would be a tough matchup.
Who was the Ohio State OC this year?
Kelly.
I know who their DC is. I know who they have a very funny DC.
I think did they take Penn State's offensive coordinator, or am I?
Brian Hartline. They just promoted Brian Hartline.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense then.
Who's going to call plays then?
I mean,
you're going to laugh. Isn't that pretty funny?
Dude, if you've got the best receiving core in the country, you might as well just put your receiving coach at the OC. Why not?
Yeah.
But that's pretty funny, isn't that, Beau? That's pretty funny.
I didn't know that was Matt Patricia, actually. I lost it. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
But yeah, what are you guys predicting for the record for UW heading into the Oregon game?
Oregon.
I'm saying 8-3.
8-3.
Yeah.
I think at WSU could be.
I think I'm probably going to say the same. Yeah, I'm going to say
8-3. I think for sure lose to Michigan, lose one of Ohio State, Illinois, and then drop another game somewhere.
Just get upset. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, totally.
UCLA or Wisconsin. That's what I'm kind of looking at there.
Yeah, Illinois could be tricky too. Yeah, I see that too. I see 9.
I think we for sure lose to Michigan, lose one of Ohio State or Illinois.
You see, the thing is though, I mean, Michigan. The thing about Michigan, I'm not saying I think the Huskies win because I don't think they will. But if we're going to use the young quarterback argument, Michigan's got the.
But it's at home. It's at home,
right?
Though.
But still, it's a true freshman going up against Ryan Walters.
Well, the strength of UW is going to be. Well, this is kind of the thing, though. I think UW's going to be a really good team, just overall.
I think they really rebuilt their defense.
I think so too. I think the defense is good, and last year the offense showed some serious potential, and especially getting all those receivers back. I mean, Denzel Boston, that is a dude.
Yeah. Well, Jeremiah Hunter and we kind of upgraded over the other two because Jeremiah Hunter and Giles Jackson.
Right. Jonah Coleman too. I mean, this could they could be going into the Oregon game 9-2 or 10-1. I could see that happening.
I think
Jed needs to prove he can win on the road. That's the biggest thing.
My hesitation with Ohio State is I still think they're the most talented team in the country.
Yeah,
by a pretty wide margin. So I just don't feel comfortable calling that one a win. Honestly, I feel more confident about the Michigan one than the Ohio State one, even though, I know the home-road split is ugly for Jed right now. And then
I'll be honest here. That team was awful last year. It's kind of almost a miracle that we got the bowl eligibility.
It's a miracle. Hey, they went 6-0 at home. That's pretty good considering the quality of the team.
That is pretty good.
That team was not good.
Actually think if I was going to predict, I think it'll be 8-3. I'm going to say Ohio State, Michigan, and at Wisconsin.
Okay.
My 3 losses.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think something along those lines as well. I don't know. I think 9-2. I think they'll be 9-2.
Okay. The Duck is the most bullish on the Huskies.
They'll avoid the dumb upset. They'll lose to teams that are better than them.
Okay.
I don't think they'll get upset by someone dumb. I think they'll figure it out. And I also just think that, again, like, they'll win almost all those home games. And that Ohio State wins tough, but every other home game, you should win. So I think going into the Oregon game, they might have to. College Game Day might have to come up to Seattle because if UW is 9-2 and Oregon's 10-1, that's a huge game.
That could have implications for the Big Ten championship game.
Oh, 100%. I honestly would not be shocked if UW beats.
Now I'm not quite sure how I'm feeling about Oregon's schedule at this point. I've gone back.
Well, let's pull it up. We got her up here. So lost to Montana State. We'll get that out.
Juggernaut.
That's
actually Montana State's a good FCS.
Yeah,
they are. Who's the third non-con? I'm just curious.
Third non-con Oregon State.
The Beavs. Okay.
They're our marriage is still going strong, but they do not like playing us anymore. I've heard a lot of rumors about them not wanting to continue the series. So. I don't know how long the Apple Cup's going to continue either. It's a bit dicey with that, but for now we've got them on the schedule. I'm not scared of anybody in these first 4 weeks until we get to Penn State.
That's whiteout too. I think
that's going to be a tough one.
That's tough.
I think that we got a really good shot to win that game, but I would predict Penn State to win right now. I had to bet money on it because. They get Drew Allar back. They got all these playmakers coming back. Their defense is going to be good. If they can just figure out how to be more consistent with passing the ball, just have the threat of it, because their 2 running backs are incredible players, and they get them both returning. What are their names? Tayshawn Allen, Nick Singleton, some of the best players I've ever seen. I mean, they ran all over us in that Big Ten championship. I'm so surprised we won that game. Those guys rushed for, I don't even know how many yards.
Because Drew Allar sucks.
I don't think he sucks. I just think
Drew Allar makes bad choices.
He does make bad decisions.
He's erratic.
When I studied the transfer receiver we took from Penn State, Drew Allar pissed me off with his inconsistency. That's what I'd say. He's inconsistent.
He is very inconsistent. And I think if Oregon's going to win the game, that's kind of the play, is stop the run, make Drew Allar beat you. And if he does, just say, well, what are we going to do? But I'd pick Penn State to win that game just because it is going to be so loud and so fired up.
It's bad. It's bad. Huskies got whooped there last year.
It's going to be tough. But I think next week after that, even if you lose, you get a nice bounce back with Indiana. At Rutgers is going to be weird. I have a weird feeling about that game. I think we're going to win.
It's a long play.
I see that kind of like how we struggled on the road at Wisconsin last year. I feel like we can kind of vibe. And if you don't, I mean, if Dante Moore is still rough around the edges, this is a game where we'll find out. This will make sense.
Yeah. Are you a big Dante Moore guy?
Yes, but I think we have some other quarterbacks on the roster who are going to give him a run for his money. this quarterback competition.
Mocha looked good at
Moga looks good. Austin Novosad knows the offense really well, and he's got plenty of talent in his own right. He looked good in the spring game too. So I think anyone who's just saying, "Oh, Dante Moore is the starter," that's not how it's going to work. This is going to be a competition, and what I hope to avoid, but what I secretly fear, is this might be a QB competition throughout the regular season as well. If Dante Moore goes out there and has a stinker, I mean, Novosad's going to be sitting there like putting in. So if we get to be a guy to emerge and be head and shoulders above the rest of the locker room, or at least quarterback room. And I think the Rutgers game is where you find that out.
Yeah. How do you feel about Evan Stewart being out for the year? That sucks.
That's huge. Yeah, it's enormous.
I feel bad for him. That just sucks.
We have a lot of really talented receivers on our roster, but it sucks because
he was going to be the number one.
Absolutely. He was the most talented by far. He's an amazing player. It sucks, but I have been waiting to see a lot of our younger, more talented receivers play, and so it is a little bit of a blessing in disguise to see some of those guys get more reps.
Corey Moore is going to get a lot of run this year.
Yes.
And I think
Jurion Dickey as well. He's a guy that not a lot of people talk about.
I think he busted. I don't know if he is.
But
he's got it.
A chance to prove it this season. And then, I would say out of the Rutgers game, we should be 5-1.
I think McClellan is a dude. I like McClellan more than that one.
Well, let's say we're 5-1 after Rutgers. Okay, what do we got next? Wisconsin at home should be an easy.
Oh boy! Uh-oh.
Iowa.
That's bad news. News.
This is a coin flip for me.
That place sucks.
I think we're the better team than they do.
You do. Everybody does, but people lose to Iowa at Iowa. That's what happens.
And again, I think this will be another quarterback game. If the QB situation is elite and we've had guys step up, this should be a win. If the QB room is a struggle, we could lose another game, and we might be on our third loss already, depending on how that Rutgers game goes too. But I don't expect us to lose to Rutgers. So for now, I will say we find a way to get this one done. I'm confident that between our quarterbacks, one of them is going to put up a good performance and win that one. Minnesota, just give me that W. That's just dreadful. They're not good at all. I like their head coach, but they're coming into our house. That's going to be rough. USC, I'm really sorry to all the USC fans, but I think it's all bark and no bites.
I agree.
USC fans talk a big game, but their program is not hardcore. Their fans are not hardcore.
They're so soft. Lincoln Riley is soft. It starts at the top. No matter how many amazing coaches you bring in, you will always be soft.
Yeah. It'll be harder to beat them than most of the other teams on our schedule, but they have a lot of really good players. And they're it seems like they're trying to revamp their roster, but I don't think they've turned enough over to make a significant jump forward. And they're coming in on the road. And I'll tell you guys, there's a lot of Oregon fans who hate USC more than we hate UW.
Well, USC's our natural, for the longest time it was USC before the rise of Oregon,
I think this is probably going to be a night game. The crowd's going to be lathered up, maybe a little bit of other substances going on. It's going to be loud, and I don't see them getting that done. So I think somewhere along the way, aside from the Penn State game, there might be a loss. So I think worst case scenario, we're 9-2 heading into the UW game, which is I'm pretty happy about that if that's where we are. And then let's talk about the UW game from our perspective. That's going to be tough. I'd say besides Penn State, it's probably your hardest game, just because it's an extremely intimidating road environment. Maybe not quite as intimidating as Iowa, but it's up there.
Iowa's very scary. Iowa's very, very scary.
We're going to learn a lot more about these teams throughout the season, so it's difficult to say where UW's going to be and where Oregon's going to be late November. Right now, this game's as good of a coin flip for me. I have a hard time going in there and beating my chest and guaranteeing an Oregon victory, but I also think we're gonna give them a good shot, and we're gonna be a hard team to beat, even if they play well. So, let's say UW wins. So that would put UW at 8-4 and Oregon at 9-3. I think that's pretty good seasons for both teams. That would be UW would be both teams would be 9-3, based on what we were kind of saying. So yeah, I think both teams going 9-3 makes a lot of sense to me because UW's in the process of kind of ramping up, and I think Oregon's going to have a down year relative to our last few seasons. So I think it kind of makes a lot of sense. And then we'll see what happens with playoff selections and Big Ten standings and bowl games. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'm just super excited for this season because I think hopefully old college football comes back, where players are staying on the roster longer, coaches are staying on their teams longer, fans are looking at it as more of a genuine thing rather than a business.
Right.
I hope this season kind of feels like a little bit of a renaissance. Maybe there will be some big upsets throughout the year, and someone unexpected will win the national championship. I think
not just Ohio State or Penn State or Alabama.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's one thing I wanted to talk about with the playoff system because I know you guys probably don't like Josh Pate too much, but I thought he said something very insightful about the playoff system a few years ago, where he was saying how a lot of people thought that the playoff was going to open the doors up for teams that don't normally win to win a championship. And Josh Pate said what's actually going to happen is there's going to be a Cinderella, but the Cinderella is going to be someone you already know. And lo and behold, first year of the playoff, Cinderella was Ohio State, right? They lost 2 games. They probably should have been out in any other year, but because we expanded the field, and all of a sudden you're giving the most talented program in the country a second chance, and lo and behold, they mopped the floor with everybody. And obviously, as an Oregon fan, I'm salty about it because they beat us and ruined one of our best seasons ever. But big picture, I am not as big of a fan of the expanded playoff as I thought I would be. But maybe there's just a bad experience with the first year. And
that's fair.
Things will be more fun going forward. But I am just a little bit worried that, because it could happen with Alabama this year. What if Alabama is really good, but they lose a couple games, but they still get in the playoff, and then they just bulldoze everybody?
Yeah, I think that's a big reason everyone was worried that they would take SMU's spot after SMU lost the ACC title game, because everyone was like, "Oh, great, they're going to let Alabama in." Then all of a sudden, Alabama's going to remember how to play again.
Yeah, and can you imagine if it was Alabama versus Ohio State in the national championship? There's your nightmare scenario right there.
I mean, we got Notre Dame, Ohio State. That's not much better.
Not much better, but yeah.
At least it's not out.
Big story, at least, because they lost to. That was crazy how they lost to Northern Illinois,
and then went to
played for the championship. That was wild.
You see, and that's one of the big reasons, other than Al Golden, because I knew who'd beat the Bengals DC. I was rooting for Notre Dame because I was just like, you know what? I would really love for the transitive property to say Northern Illinois is the real national champions at
that would have been hilarious.
I would have 5-7 Northern Illinois Huskies are the only team that took down the champs.
Yeah, I would have bought a championship shirt for Northern Illinois. I think that would be hilarious.
Really, they'd be printing them too.
I've got to get running in a moment here, but I just want to take a second to talk about Oregon recruiting.
Oh yeah, let me pull it up here.
Only because we're having a pretty good day today.
You're having a good day, I'll tell you that much.
Having a good day, but there was a rough period of the last few months where it felt like we were swinging for the fences, going for all these high-profile players and missing. And I think it just, the consistency of the staff paid off, where you're not going to win every battle, but you're going to win enough of them to get the guys you really want. Now, these guys could all decommit and go somewhere else, because the kind of players we're going
half
after,
the guys on this list were originally committed somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not holding my breath with any of these guys. I fully expect that they're getting offers big time from other schools, and I'm not going to really get too excited about any particular guy until they're on campus and they sign the paperwork. But right now,
well, even then, a lot of the times guys will get on campus, sign the paperwork, and then enter the portal like a week and a half later because they realize they're not going to get the playing time they were promised.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So, but right now, this is a really awesome looking class. I think even some of the lower rated guys have some serious potential. And this is a very important class because we are a young team, and this is going to be the core of kind of next year's roster. I think next year is a season we should circle as like we could seriously win the championship if we keep the roster together. This season, for me, we've got money in the bank. Whatever we accomplish this season is gravy as long as we don't crash out and have some disaster season. But yeah, these are some really, really good players. I mean, if we can keep I can't even pronounce that guy's name. Emmanuel
Iheanacho,
I think.
I might have just butchered that. I'm sounding it out, though. I know
You
Rob
said it
probably
with
knows it.
confidence, so we'll go with it. I mean, Jet Washington's an amazing player. Kendra Harrison, really amazing player. I've watched some highlight tapes on him. Yeah, this is a really great class, and Dan Lanning is continuing to do what he's been doing here, which is have some serious success on the recruiting trail. As long as there's no big scandal or Dan Lanning doesn't leave, I think we're going to be just fine, even in the new NIL ruling era. Although, we'll see. Maybe that
will have an impact, and it already kind of has to an extent. But I mean, they're still going to be able to recruit. It's not like NIL is illegal now. So,
exactly.
Make stuff happen.
And I hope that when the playing field's a little more even, that we're getting more guys who really want to come to Oregon instead of just like, I got written a huge
guys who got the Nike bag.
Yeah, exactly. I like that us getting to throw around the Nike bag benefits us, but there has been plenty of players over these last few years that come in, I get really excited to see them play, and then they transfer and go somewhere else. And it's like, okay, like there's a reason why that happens because guys are showing up for the wrong reasons. And so I think it'd be good for the sport in general if less of that was going on.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so I think that the rivalry with UW this year is going to be another great rendition of the game. And this year is really fun because it's a little bit like 2023 where both teams feel like they're going to be at a similar level.
Right.
I don't think it'll be quite
last year was definitely everyone knew it was going to be a rebuilding year for the Huskies.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that the UW-Oregon rivalry has this bad habit where both teams just are never at the same level. One team sucks, one team's bad, or one team's mediocre and the other is terrible. 2023 was like, we're both good.
Yeah, 2023 was probably the peak, yeah.
That was the peak. It was amazing.
Maybe of all time, honestly.
It's those two games that they played in 2023, those are the biggest games in the whole history of the series so far, unfortunately, for Oregon. But I think this year will be not quite that big of a stage, but both teams will be really good, and they'll be at the same level, which will make for a very entertaining game nonetheless. And, I mean, who knows if both teams hit their ceiling for potential, especially Oregon. I think Oregon's we just have
Oregon, as much as a hater as I am, Oregon's potential, they could be the number one team in the country.
Yeah, we could. Our roster is just loaded with amazing players all over the place. A lot of guys are young. That's the only thing. And then
losing Evan Seward for the year hurts, though. That's a big loss.
Yeah, that does seriously hurt. So this season's going to be really interesting. Last year, I was extremely confident going into the season. I'm not quite as confident this year, but still pretty confident. I trust the coaches we've got to maximize whatever we've got. But I think this season's going to be really awesome. So looking forward to maybe jumping on with you guys some other time.
Hey, what time's the game, or what day's the game? The November 29th? Well, maybe if we do a Thanksgiving week pod, we'll have to get you on for the.
No, that'd be awesome. And then I'm gonna try to go to that game too. Tickets are gonna be expensive, but I'm gonna try.
They are. You gotta buy them now.
I'm gonna try my best to get up to Seattle that day because that is not a game I want to miss. But yeah, thanks so much for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
For sure, Gabe. It's nice meeting you, man. Feel free to hop on whenever.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll keep in touch with you guys. I'll see you, Rob.
All right. There he is. Well, that was Gabe. You know what? Rob's on mute right now. Rob was right, though. We found a good Duck fan. They're somewhere out there. We found one. He's putting up the one. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, we touched on it a lot there, obviously. Talked about Huskies and Ducks, recruiting. Rob's still on mute. So, I guess I'll just say, we already talked about our predictions going into that game. I actually think the Huskies knock.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Good time. That was great timing, actually. I was just saying, my official prediction, I think the Huskies knock off the Ducks this year.
I am a little bearish on that.
Not to go to the Big Ten title game. I think they knock them off, and then they both finish 9-3, and then the Big Ten title game's Ohio State, Penn State.
That's funny.
Mutually assured destruction.
Oh man! I told you about Gabe.
Gabe's chill. We gotta get him on again. I was saying.
No, he's awesome, man. That's why it was so fun talking with him all the time. Now you've met my two of the guys I was the closest with in session. Because you remember Gus from did you ever meet Gus on the draft coverage?
I think he did. He hopped on draft coverage, yep.
I don't know if you were on at the same time, though.
No, he was. I remember because I was getting back from when he was still on.
Yeah, those were my guys. Their offices were right by my office. It was great. They're great fans. Yeah. He's genuinely the best Duck fan I've ever met. He's awesome.
It's very very low key. A lot of Ducks fans, I imagine him blowing everything out of proportion. He's a lot more low key, which was cool.
Oh yeah, we didn't get into it much, but he's very much a I want to regulate football. Yeah, it hurts Oregon, but it sucks like this. He's both wants to regulate it and admits it actually it helps Oregon having no regulation. He's the best.
Right. There you go. Anything else you want to chat about while we're on the pod?
Yeah, this is a rare midday pod.
I know. It's like what this is. Don't feel the need to go to bed or anything.
I know. We can go forever. It's just dead season right now. Brutally. Yeah. Has Shamar Stewart signed anything yet?
No, he's not.
Oh God.
Neither's Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, there's got to be
3 weeks until camp opens up. Fingers crossed something happens here soon. We'll see. It's been an off season for the Bengals. At least we got Jamar and T signed. That's pretty much the only.
That's the most important thing.
Season. It's the most important thing, but it's also literally the only good thing that's happening.
Yeah. All right, you got Golding.
Oh yeah, and Al Golden. That's true. Hopefully, we'll see. It's always a little nerve-wracking bringing a college guy to the pros.
Yeah, I felt that last year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. But he's got pro experience.
He does.
So. All right, my friend. Does that close us out then?
I think it does.
All right. Well, we'll be back sooner. I know we've been on like a 3.5 week hiatus. We'll be back sometime next week, I'm sure.
And we'll start
some off-season
predictions.
That's true. Predictions are starting soon. Predictions are going to start soon.
Let's see. Yeah. No, we should get predictions. We should be starting that soon.
Should we get rolling on predictions on the next episode, you think?
Why not?
Do our division by division picks? Let's see. The first games this year is September 4th. Yeah, the first game this year is September 4th. So, if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we did one a week, we'd finish just in time.
Yeah, I like it. So, let's do it. We made it.
Yeah, we made it. We're almost there. Well, that is it for this edition of the West Coast Draft Podcast. We'll be back next week to the start of the game-by-game prediction season. Any closing thoughts, Mr. Jokeman?
one of us meet an actually genuine Oregon fan, all of us meet him. Want us to click, always to click. Want us to subscribe, always subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Drive safe, folks. And shout out Gabe. Genuine
Shout out
Oregon.
Gabe.